It's me. It's me. It's Draul. Uh, to battle. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing. Really, no bot. I'm gonna be playing some Yawhg tonight. It's a game that actually doesn't come out on Steam for another day or so. Um, I'll be doing a review on it soon, so if you're interested in that, you should check out the drasticmeasure.com. Anyway, so this game it's an RPG, but it's a really unique game, and it's one of the reasons I'm very interested in playing it. And I apologize ahead of time if you have issues hearing my voice. The music, the artwork is fantastic in this game. So, without further ado, let's play the Yaw.
That I would just be blinded by the
You know, sorry.
sun. You tried to comfort me, said every other day I like that I could be.
The Yawg will be here in 6 weeks. No one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives, week by week, unaware. Let's go to the forest. You spend the week chopping down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day you stumble upon a dryad picking flowers in a field. Upon noticing you, she runs up to you excitedly. "Excuse me, miss, would you care to dance?" she asks. "I've been wanting to dance for so long, but nobody else has been around to dance with," she sighs. "Okay, so I get to make a decision. I'd love to dance. Don't dance. Let's dance." She giggles and takes you by the hand. She starts humming out a song, and the two of you dance together in the middle of the forest. You accidentally step on her toes several times while dancing. After the 3rd time, she stops you. She thanks you for the dance and hums off into the night. You practice dancing a little. You gain 1 finesse. So, I mean, it's definitely more interesting if you're playing with the second person, right? Because they can control 1 person. But we're gonna do both. Slums. You spend the week performing petty theft. You gain 1 wealth and 1 finesse. One day, while wandering in the slums, you notice the stones used to line the road seem to have a certain pattern. You don't manage to figure out the mystery, but you still feel pretty smart for noticing the pattern of the tiles. You gain 1 mind. They say the last time it came, the Yawg devoured houses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart. But that was so very long ago. See, she is going to go to gardens. She's going to meditate. You spend the week deep in meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. Walking past the pond one day, you see a fat little frog sitting on a lily pad. "Please, miss," the frog begs. "I am not a frog at all, but an enchanted prince. If you could see your way to kissing me, it would break the curse and turn me to normal." You bend down and kiss the frog. You feel the curious stirring and think about the curse trying to break. Unfortunately, you don't seem to be magical enough to get the job done. The frog thanks you for your efforts and walks off sadly. You wake up the next morning with a bad case of lip works. You lose 1 charm. That's great. Drink. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day, while in the tavern, you hear a large commotion outside. Okay. One day, while in the tavern, you hear a large commotion outside. Go outside. Outside, you see a crowd of angry people carrying torches and pitchforks. "Kill the dryad," they chant, and sort of synchronize. They are all running to the middle of the town. Working your way through the mob, you find a dryad running away. "I was just looking for someone to dance with," she sobs. You shout at the top of your lungs for the crowd to stop what they're doing. Your words fall on deaf ears. You see the dryad get set on fire and prodded with pitchforks. Oh no. It was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook, the air went still. That was messed up. They set it on fire, man. That's just gonna go to the alchemy tower. Brew potion. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic in 1 month. One day, all of the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a candy party. One alchemist waves his hands and produces confetti in front of him. Another spawns a seemingly endless number of doves from his sleeves. Then all the alchemists turn to you to see what you come up with. With a snap of your fingers, you bring a chair to life. You sit atop of it and ride around the room. Everybody else is quite impressed. You gain 2 charm. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day, in between matches, you stumble upon one of the higher-ranked fighters ingesting illegal strength potions. He's already illegal performance-enhancing drugs. Please, sir, don't report me, she cries. I'll even share some of my potion with you. You keep quiet. Take her offer. Thank you so much for not reporting me, she says while handing you her flat. He'll take a small swig of her potion and can feel the muscles expansively becoming you gain 2 physique. And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos. Screaming. The sounds of all we knew being pulled in half. Wow, that's pretty morbid. So that's what's happening, or that's what happened in the past? You spend the week cutting down trees for a village, you gain 2 physique and yourself 1 wealth. One day you come across a group of people in the woods. From the expressions on their faces, they appear to be lost. You confront the group and try to help them find their way back to town. With ease, you lead everyone back to town. Extremely grateful, the group gives you a small token of their appreciation. You gain 2 wealth. And, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing something else, or if this is... Let's see... Pick it up, you hear a voice from behind you whispering not worthy. The dagger begins to dissolve into a black smoke. Within seconds, the blade is gone. Interesting. You're not worthy. You're not worthy. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong? Or have we forgotten? So, this is week 5 already. Interesting. She's going to go to Pass and to the wall. You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day the king approaches you. Excuse me, but you look like someone who I can confide in, he says. Really? I really want a prince to take over the throne, but the queen and I aren't exactly active in the... He blushes a little. Do you have any advice on how I could romance the queen, so to speak? Teach the king your ways. Admit that you don't know how to help. You spend hours drawing a bunch of diagrams and showing through scenarios with the king. By the end of it, he's just as charming as you are. He thanks you and hands you a large sack of points as a reward. Gain 3 wealth. Later that night, you get the sinking feeling that you might have actually made things worse. That's great. You spend the week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 wealth. One day, you stumble upon a tall, nicely trimmed hedge in the middle of the woods. You sit and eat your lunch in front of the hedge, wondering what exactly it's doing out in the woods. Suddenly, an enormous hand erupts from the foliage. Dodge it. Your reflexes allow you to duck just out of its grasp. You run faster than you ever have in your life. You gain 2 physique. The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. doctors have tried convincing him to stop talking, but to no avail. Sing with him. You start trying to sing along with his voice. The two of you start singing wonderful melodies together, making everybody happy. One of the doctors slips you a sack of coins to thank you. You gain 2 wealth. Spend the week performing petty theft. You gain 12 defense. One night you hear a woman whispering from nearby, "Hey you," she calls out, looking to make a bit of coin. "I'm always up for coin." She signals for you to go an alleyway with her. "Come closer," she says. "Nobody else can hear what I'm about to tell you. I'm about to get robbed." You lean in close, eager to learn how you'll be earning this coin. She presses herself right up against you, moving her lips slowly towards your ear. Suddenly she bites your neck viciously. Blood pours from the wound and she clings to you tightly, lapping it all up. You black out. When you come to, you see her standing over you. "Thanks," she says, tossing you a couple of coins. You gain 1 wealth. Then she melts to the shadows. When you feel your neck, you notice your wounds have healed completely. Your body feels ice cold. You gain 3 charm. You lose 3 physique. Did I just get turned into a vampire? The storm arrives in the night. By the morning, it still rages. For 3 full days, the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard. Our home has become our home. Does anything yet live? Are we past saving? Wow. Choose your role. She is going to be the leader. You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You try to delegate tasks but can't get too many to listen. You try to give congratulations to hard workers, but your words come across as insincere. You help rebuild them after the building. He is going to be you break into abandoned buildings and work together everything for yourself. One day, while scavenging, your skin turns milky white. You lose 3 physique. You also notice your teeth are a little sharper than usual and your complexion clears up instantly. You gain 3 charm. You notice another looter besides you digging through the rubble. Her neck fully exposed. You can even see a vein or 2. Delicious. Before you know it, you're coated in blood with the mangled form in front of you. There are several drunks around and they are all filled with delicious nectar. The next few hours are a blur. You wake up to find yourself in the middle of the woods. You don't quite know what happened, but you are pretty sure it didn't help the survival effort. That's great. And so, we set about our tasks once more, living our lives. This time in a way we might never have expected, or even wanted. But in the end, we were defeated. Those of us left struggled to put our homes to rights, but the effort was futile, doomed. The city bled survivors, eventually becoming a husk, a dead thing. Perhaps the Yawhg was only partly to blame. In shambles, you flee to the forest. You spend years out there with no human contact whatsoever. You live in a hut you built out of twigs and fashion your clothing out of clumps of moss. All the time spent alone has driven you slowly mad. Anytime you see someone in the woods, you chase them away with your massive moss cloak shaking violently. Legends begin to emerge about the crazy moss monster. Eventually, a band of villagers bearing torches and pitchforks set fire to your hut. Burn up trying to save all your precious moss. It's screwed up. Under the cover of the night, you sneak back into the town. You hide in the sewers, constantly craving the taste of blood. Finding that rats aren't enough, you take to the surface, preying on victims sleeping on the streets. Sometimes they die immediately, sometimes they get very sick, and sometimes they join you in the sewers, preying on the townspeople alongside you. Before long, you've developed an entire underground civilization. That's pretty deep. Fantastic music.
You told me not to run, that I would just be blind.
let's do all the characters this time. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week. Anyway, I'm not going to read all this again. Right, she's going to go to the slums, and she's going to. So you don't really have a choice once you get her. She still jacks you either way. So she became a vampire at the first level of the first decision in the game. Play the worst game of darts anyone has ever seen. You come dead last. One day, bloodletting leeches somehow escape from their containers. Leeches start flooding into the hallway. There are people screaming everywhere, so leeches slither towards them. Somebody do something, yells one of the doctors. You start taunting the leeches to lead them back into their containers. The leeches swarm all over you. You are subject to the vicious series of bites before the leeches are bored or get bored and take off. You lose 2 physique. The leeches make their way out of the hospital and end up infesting all of the nearby waterbeds. That's amazing. You spend the week placing bets on your favorite fighters to gain 3 wealth. While wandering around the halls between matches, you spy your former lover, Kelly. An awkward exchange happens in which you want to know how they're doing without seeming to care too much. After a few minutes, Jean, one of the most popular fighters in the arena, butts into the conversation. Hey, Kelly, sorry to interrupt, but we've got to leave right away if we want to make it to your mother's in time. You say an awkward goodbye as they walk off holding hands. How do you feel? Extremely jealous. You become extremely grumpy for the rest of the week. You lose 1 charm. While you're no fun to be around, you channel rage into your working out 2 physique. I'll work out. You spend the week chopping wood. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. Over the course of the week, you've noticed your skin becoming paler and your teeth sharper. You notice that whenever you talk, everyone here hangs on your every word. You gain 3 charm. You also feel more frail and gaunt than you used to. 3 physique. One day you spot a honey party on the wilderness. You see one of the trumpets has. He bends down to pick it up. His thankfully is opposed. You can see your banner too delicious. Yep. Okay, so basically the same thing, just slightly different. The next few hours are a blur. You wake up the next day, source of blood is not your own. You look in the mirror, notice your skin has regained their color and that your teeth have dulled. The next day you find the exit to the town is closed. Something about there being a perfect accident in the forest and you not inquire further. Spend the week fighting brutes. You get to do one for dance during a match. Warrior's weapons is knocked out from his grasp. You barely manage to avoid it. Stickling crash destroys the nearby bystander. Was it an arrow? He accuses you of causing him harm by not stopping the flying weapon. He takes you to court. You object, but you can't seem to convince the judge. He rules in the plaintiff's favor in order to perform community service and give him physical finesse. Community service. Spend the week maintaining the plants in the region. You gain 1 for national physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day you spot a man drinking water from out of a pond. Suddenly he screams. You look over to find them covered in leeches. You do. Save him with magic. You try prying the leeches off the man, but there's too many of them. You end up getting a lot of the process. You lose 1 up when the man stops screaming. Too much of him devours to function. You make a break for it and get to safety. You go by the well later in the night to find a pile of bones. That's disgusting. You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You're paid one well for your labor and gain one secret magic. One day you hear cries for help coming from the next room. Running over to investigate, you see the alchemists here have accidentally created an ooze monster. How do you dispatch the ooze? Punch the ooze into submission. She doesn't have much. She has 6 magic. She has more finesse than magic. Your fist gets stuck in the ooze. You slowly see it become as skeletal. As the ooze digests it, you lose 2 physique. The alchemists rush to your aid, pulverizing the ooze with their spells. The alchemists apply a healing cream, but your hand just doesn't feel the same afterwards. He's also a vampire, so you spend the week steeling your mind against the horrors of the hospital, making sure it is clean as can be. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and earn 1 wealth. One day, you hear spooky sounds echoing through the hospital. Soon afterwards, a glowing blue ghost floats down through the ceiling. She seems to be wandering in the halls aimlessly, howling out horrible noises. She doesn't appear to realize that she is freaking everyone out. You decide to do something about it. Again, no magic. Not very much on charm, but charm is the highest stat. So, you approach the spirit and try to explain her effect that she is having on the sick. She seems to understand what you're telling her and apologizes for bothering everybody. She walks through a wall and is never seen again. The doctor tosses you a sack of coins as a way of saying thanks. You gain 2 wealth. You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You're paid 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day, you overhear the jester tell a joke to a group of people. Everyone laughs, but you didn't understand the joke at all. You approach the jester, asking him what exactly the joke meant. The jester scolds you at length about the dangers of extending jokes. Something about puppies and them dying when you dissect them. You don't quite understand, but everyone around you start laughing. Presumably the jester had just made another joke at your expense. You've begun coming to terms with the fact that your sense of humor is lacking. Being more self-aware, you manage to exude an aura of confidence. You gain 1 charm. Okay. Bartender. You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth in tips and gain 2 charm. One day while in the tavern, a heated argument erupts between 2 patrons. Soon enough, fists are flying and everybody seems to be joining in on the violence. Break up the fight. You jump on top of the table and yell out a plea to the patrons stop the violence. The patrons ignore you completely and continue attacking one another. You go to sleep that night thinking a little less of the human race. It's messed up. Spend the week placing bets on your favorite fighters. You gain 1 wealth. One night on your way home, you spot a rusty dagger on the ground. Why not? As you pick up, you hear the voice from behind you. You're not worthy. The dagger begins to soften the black. Seconds the blade's gone. How would you become worthy? Hey, what is finesse? Physique? Oh yeah. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One day you notice a man drawing water out of a well. Suddenly leeches begin pouring out of the well and cover the man from head to toe. They start making their way towards you too. What do? Blast them with magic, lure the leeches back into the well. You start taunting the leeches and lead them back to the containers with great skill. You manage to avoid the leeches' fangs. You then lure them all back into the well. Thinking you gain 1 mind. Nice. Okay, let's see. Can I be a tavern witch? You spend the week experimenting with different potions. You gain 2 magic, 1 mind. One day, all of the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a cancer party. By snapping your fingers, you change your eyebrow color. Not bad, one of the alchemists says. You gain 1 magic. Really? You spend the week in deep meditation, you gain one magic into your mind. One day you come across an elderly man snoozing on the grass. You there, young person, he waves you over. I'm having an awful time trying to nap in the bright sun. Do you mind giving me some shade? Block the sun for the young man. Age seems to pass as you stand in the hot sun. The wizened old man sleeping peacefully in his shadow. The sun is sweltering, and after some hours you begin to feel faint. Gradually everything grows dark. You awaken in his evening garden, and an ancient gnarled tree stands where the old man was sleeping. For witnessing the miraculous event, you gain one magic. Okay. So, man just turned into a tree. What? Hey, she has a lot of charm. Spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day, the court jester approaches you. Would you like to learn to juggle? He asks. I'll teach you everything I know for a small sum. Sure. You spend the day with the jester practicing on the table. You learn dramatically. You gain 2 finesse. You gain another 2 finesse. You happily pay the jester for his services. You lose 1 health. Hey. Again, he's a fighter. So he's going to... You spend the week fighting groups in the arena, gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day, in between matches, you stumble upon one of the higher-ranked fighters investing. We're in a tournament this time. Reporter. Report the fighters or officials. They thank you for bringing it to their attention and hand you a small sack of coins to The fighter is investigated and receives a lifetime ban from the arena. She's pretty useless. Not really. Spot a small, previously dead ferret come to life. I figured out the antidote to death, the alchemist exclaims. The undead ferret lets out a horrific noise and lumbers about slowly. Destroy the abomination. You smack the ferret off the counter and stomp on it until it stops twitching. The alchemist is horrified. You gain 1 physique. Really? Damn. Why does he suck so bad? Okay. One day, an old woman approaches you. I have a small pouch of magic beans. Would you be interested in purchasing them? Yes, why not? You spend 1 well-thumbed beans. Later, you decide to plant them on a rarely visited part of the garden. Okay, so again, she's the charmer. So, go to the tavern and you spend the last week serving drinks at the tavern. You gain 1 wealth, good tips, and gain 2. One day, a bard pulls out his flute in the bar and starts playing a tune. Turn this down a little bit more. Unfortunately, his singing is horrible and is ruining the tavern's atmosphere. You decide to do something about it and convince him to leave. Draul, the owner's flute, challenged him largely. You play out a beautifully complex combination of arpeggios. The tavern roars with applause. The bard tries his best to replicate your piece, but ends up dropping his lute, snapping in half. He bows his head shamefully in defeat and walks out of the tavern. You gain 1 fitness and 1 charm. 1 fitness and 1 finesse, whatever. Spend the week stealing your mind against the horrors of the hospital, making sure as good as you can be. One physique and earn 1. One day a patient comes to the hospital with sores that nobody's ever seen before. Walking by his bedside, he looks to you and rudely asks for a glass of water. Get him water. You bring him a small glass to quench his thirst. He takes a large sip, swings it around, and then proceeds. Wow, that's fucked up. The water hits you right in the face. After cleaning up, you scold the obviously insane man for spitting at you. That night, when you get home, you feel dizzy and start having vivid hallucinations about ancient wizards. You lose 3 magic, you lose 3 mind. So he's losing his mind. Wonderful. He's going insane with power. Let's see, she... Spend the week maintaining the plants in the little garden. You gain one finesse, one fatigue, and you serve one wealth. One day while in the garden, you notice a beanstalk. Water it. Plants could express emotions. It'd let you know how delighted it was to be watered. Arena. Let's see, what does he need? Pretty much everything. Spend the week performing petty theft, gain one wealth and two finesse. One night, a man walks up to you. Excuse me, sir, feeling a little lonely tonight, he asks. For only a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good. No thanks, your loss. Okay, so this happened. The Yawhg is a bad storm. Okay, so which person is this? This is a charm. She's going to be the leader. Take it upon yourself to be the leader of survivors. You're expert, delegate, and hard facts. You give motivating speeches and act as effective mediator in disputes. This helps your building effort significantly. Okay. Physique. It's going to be the builder. You take it upon yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You go to pick up a hammer when suddenly spirals forward from all over your skin. You feel surges of controllable energy building up inside of you. Your mind goes completely blank. You lose 3 minds. Someone rushes up to you asking if you're alright with only a glance. You set him aflame. Then you let out a scream and he shakes the earth and shatters the skulls of all nearby. A river of blood coats the ground as you walk about reveling in your destruction. Blackout. When you awaken, you're surrounded by darkness. You are not entirely sure where you are, but you are sure that you've probably ruined the town's chances of survival. Wow, that's screwed up. So everything looked like it might be going okay. Nope. Took it upon myself to help the sick and injured. Okay. You are able to keep most patients in stable condition. Some are even able to get back up and work in no time. This helps the survival effort quite a bit. So, what can he really do? He's not like he's a magical or anything. I mean, you don't want to put someone that's going to be bad involved in doing anything important. You volunteer to weave and commit clothing for the survivors to keep warm. You manage to make a pair of socks for every survivor. It's not much, but enough to keep a small amount. And so we set about our task once more, living our lives in this town we might never have expected or even wanted. But in the end, we were defeated. Really? Those of us left struggle. I mean, I guess when one guy kills everyone. In the end, to put our home to rights, but the left effort was futile. The city bled survivors, eventually becoming a husk, a dead thing. Perhaps the Yawhg was only partly to blame. The town in ruins. You spend a lot of time in what was once the slums. One day, you spot a familiar face. Hey, she says. How you been? I heard about your incident. Sorry about that. She drags a finger across your chest. Anyway, she snaps her fingers. Suddenly, all your free will is gone. Your skin goes milk white and your fangs reemerge. She takes you by the hand and walks you into the entrance of the sewers. You can no longer see. You can no longer taste. You've lost control. You can feel your body doing horrible mental things. You feel licks of flame firing from your fingertips. You can hear cries for mercy and cut short by bursts of intense fire. One day, it all ends when you feel nothing. Oh, that is fucked. The town in ruins, you decide to flee and go through the woods to seek a new home. This venture is cut short, however, as you are mauled to death by a mysterious beast. With the town in ruins, you decide to flee and go through the woods to seek a new home. This venture is cut short, however, so they are both mauled to death by beasts. Okay then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Yawhg. You get a lot of replay value out of that game. It's pretty short, pretty fast game. But It's definitely one of those games you have a lot of fun. It's a local game. You have a lot of fun just having friends come over and making the decisions right, or you can try to sabotage someone else. I don't know. It could be a lot of fun. When it comes out tomorrow, you guys should probably check it out. So, I don't really play a lot of games like that. And I guess you could say it's an interactive novel or a graphic novel or whatever. It's very interesting though. It's pretty screwed up, and I like screwed up things. So that's that. Um, I was not expecting any combat, so it's not like that hurts the game. I love the art style. I've been saying that a lot lately. There are games that I don't like the art style of, but that's pretty neat. I think the biggest thing is I really like the theme song or the menu song, whatever. And clearly, I wasn't really metagaming. I was kind of, but I'm pretty sure you can metagame the fuck out of it. But there's still a chance, I guess, that the metagaming, you get turned into a vampire or you go fucking crazy. You might end up having all the stats that you need to do it right, but there's that chance. You don't know what's around the next corner. So I actually like that design. So thumbs up. My first impression score for the Yawhg is an 85. I pretty much played the game. That's in fact that's probably just gonna be straight at. It's just gonna be straight at 85. Uh, I'll do a written review. The written review will contain spoilers, so I'll make sure to put some spoiler warnings on it. Um, Check the game out, and I'll be back